A home flaw, a simple slip, and just like that, the Dolphins' 2026 season has been thrown into complete chaos before a single whistle has even blown. While fans were counting down the days to see their star-studded roster take the field, a freak domestic accident has snatched away the heartbeat of their engine room in the most frustrating way possible. Jeremy Marshall-King, the man whose speed and vision out of dummy half were supposed to ignite the Dolphins' charge toward their first-ever finals appearance, isn't being sidelined by a heavy hit or a training ground collision. Instead, he is recovering from emergency surgery after a common household slip resulted in a devastating meniscus tear. The news has sent shockwaves through the NRL community, not just because of the injury itself, but because of the sheer timing of it all. As the Redcliffe-based club prepares to step into the spotlight of the new season, they are suddenly forced to figure out how to survive without the one player they truly couldn't afford to lose. Before we break down exactly how coach Kristian Woolf plans to fix this massive hole in his lineup, you need to stay in the loop with everything happening in the league. Hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell so you never miss a breaking story. This is All Sports Updates, and we are your home for the fastest news in the world of professional sport. Your support allows us to keep tracking these stories as they develop, so join our community today and stay ahead of the game. The medical reality for Marshall-King is a brutal 3 to 4 month recovery window, effectively erasing his name from the team sheet until at least round 6 or 7. For a team that finished agonizingly close in 9th position last year, every single competition point in those opening weeks is worth its weight in gold. The Kiwi international has already undergone successful surgery, but the rehabilitation process for a 30-year-old with his injury history is never a guaranteed sprint. He is now set to miss the marquee season opener against the Rabbitohs on the 8th of March and the highly anticipated Maori All Stars clash in February. The club's head of performance, Jeremy Hickmans, has confirmed that while the procedure went well, the timeline is entirely dependent on how the knee responds to early load-bearing exercises. This creates a massive tactical vacuum in the middle of the field where Marshall-King usually dictates the tempo and keeps opposition defenses on their toes. Without their first-choice hooker, the Dolphins find themselves staring at a leadership and tactical crisis that will test the depth of their entire squad. Marshall-King is widely regarded as one of the most underrated players in the NRL, providing the elite service and defensive grit that allows stars like Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow to shine. Replacing that level of experience isn't as simple as just plugging in the next man up, it requires a complete recalibration of how the team moves the ball from the ruck. Coach Woolf now has to decide whether to pivot to a utility like Max Plath, who is himself coming off a long-term ACL recovery, or blood a younger prospect in the high-pressure environment of the early rounds. The surprise element of this injury is what makes it so difficult to swallow. It wasn't a risk they could have managed or a workload issue they could have predicted. It was a second of misfortune that has potentially altered the trajectory of their entire 2026 campaign. Don't forget to drop a comment below and let us know who you think should start at hooker for round 1. This is All Sports Updates, bringing you the latest from the training paddock to the casualty ward. Looking at the roster, the internal competition for the number 9 jersey is about to become the most watched battle in Redcliffe. Max Plath is the leading candidate, but with his own return from a major knee reconstruction being carefully managed, the Dolphins might be forced to look toward Kurt Dornock or emerging youngster John Finan-Ganafo. Each option brings a different style to the table, but none possess the refined craftiness and representative-level experience that Marshall-King has spent years perfecting. There is also the possibility of new recruit Brad Schneider stepping into a ball-playing role at dummy half to maintain some level of attacking fluidity. The coaching staff is reportedly working overtime to adjust their structures, knowing that a slow start to the season could see them chasing the top 8 for the rest of the year. The pressure on these replacement players is immense, as they are being asked to fill the shoes of a player who is arguably the most influential member of the Dolphins' spine. This injury blow is made even more bitter by the fact that the Dolphins were finally looking like they had their casualty ward under control. Captain Tom Gilbert is only just returning from a horror run of setbacks, and prop Tom Flegler is eyeing a round 1 comeback after over a year on the sidelines. To have a healthy squad finally within reach, only to lose a marquee star to a household slip, feels like a cruel joke from the rugby league gods. The psychological impact on a team can be significant when a key leader is sidelined by a freak accident, often leading to a sense of "here we go again." However, the Dolphins have built a reputation on being a next-man-up club under Woolf's guidance, and they will need every ounce of that resilience now. The opening 5 rounds are a gauntlet of tough matchups, and without Marshall-King's defensive leadership in the middle, the Dolphins' forward pack will have to work twice as hard to protect their line. The timing of the round 6 bye now looks like a potential savior for the club's season ambitions, as it provides a natural target for Marshall King's return without the pressure of an immediate game. If he can hit that round 7 return date, the Dolphins may be able to salvage their season, provided they don't drop too many games in the interim. But the margin for error has now shrunk to almost nothing, and the spotlight is firmly on the medical staff to ensure there are no setbacks in the rehab process. Meniscus injuries are notoriously tricky. Push too hard too early, and you risk chronic swelling. Wait too long, and the season might already be slipping away. The club is staying optimistic in public, but behind closed doors, there is no doubt that the strategy for the first 2 months of the year has been completely rewritten. Fans are left wondering if this is the hurdle that prevents them from finally breaking into the finals, or if it will be the catalyst for a new star to emerge. As the preseason trials approach, the focus will shift from the star power of the roster to the tactical ingenuity of the coaching staff. We will be watching closely to see how the dumber half rotation looks in the trial against the Titans on the 12th of February, as that will give us the first real look at the post-JMK era. The NIL is a league where momentum is everything, and starting the year on the back foot is a recipe for a long, difficult winter. Yet, if there is one thing we've learned about this club in their short history, it's that they thrive when their backs are against the wall. The loss of Marshall King is a massive blow, but it also creates a platform for a player like Max Plath to cement himself as a genuine NIL star. The coming months will reveal if the Dolphins are a one-man engine or a collective force capable of overcoming even the most freakish of obstacles. Thank you for tuning into All Sports Updates. For this breaking NIL injury report, if you want to see more deep dives into team lists and season previews, make sure to like this video and share it with your mates. We are dedicated to bringing you the most accurate and timely sports news, keeping you ahead of the curve as we approach the 2026 kickoff. Stay tuned to our channel for the latest on Jeremy Marshall King's recovery and all the movement across the league. We will see you in the next update. Would you like me to create a detailed analysis of the Dolphins' round 1 predicted lineup, or perhaps a video on the top 5 most impactful injuries heading into the 2026 NIL season?